Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. K from the Arcadia Public Library. Welcome to our Gingerbread StoryCraft video. Today I'm just going to show you how to do two crafts. We've been giving out supplies for these crafts this week. The first is a little gingerbread house that you're using a paper bag for. Looks like this. And the second craft also is a paper bag craft, and this one is a little gingerbread man. So let's get started with the instruction. When you open up your craft packet, you'll find two smaller bags inside. So one has the materials for the gingerbread man, and the other has the materials for the gingerbread house. So let's go ahead and just put this one aside. We're going to start with our gingerbread house. The tissue paper that's inside is going to be for stuffing your gingerbread house with, so we can just put that aside. We'll be using that last. First thing you probably would like to do is just to go ahead and decorate all of your items that you're going to be putting on your house. So you'll need either some markers or crayons. I've gathered some markers together. Maybe I'll get a few more colors. I'll go ahead and get these colored in, and we'll have to cut them all out, and then we'll return and finish up our instruction. Okay, I've got most of my coloring done. Just wanted to point out a few things. This part right here is going to be your roof, and it's supposed to simulate snow, so I would probably just leave this white so that it could look like snow. And there's also snow here on your door. It's a little upside down. So you want to leave that white. If you're coloring with crayons, you also want to plan out. We do have a little bit of snow in the other packet that you could use. You might want to plan out places where you'd like to put snow, and don't color those parts, because if you're coloring with crayon, the wax is not good to glue over. So you might want to plan out where you want to put your snow before you do all your coloring. And also plan what things to leave white so that they look like snow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get all this cut out, and then we'll put our gingerbread house together. Okay, I have all my pieces cut out now. My candy canes and little candies and the windows and door, little fruit candies and lollipops, and my snow. What you want to do probably is just put your snow, this part, aside, because we're going to have to wait to put this on until after we've stuffed the bag, and that will be the last part. So right now we need to remember that the bag is flat right now, but it's not going to end up flat. We're going to be opening it up and stuffing it full with the tissue paper, and it's going to end up looking like this. So when you're gluing things on, remember that this bottom part is something that's not going to have anything glued on there, okay? But let's go ahead and refold it, just knowing that that bottom part is something that we want to just leave empty, okay? So this part right here, don't glue anything on there. Just remember that it's going to be upright like this, okay? So we're going to want to build our little house by gluing here, like this, not like this, okay? So go ahead and glue on all your parts. You want to glue on your door at the bottom, and then probably put your two windows in places that would make sense. But then the rest of it really is just up to you, wherever you want to put your candies. In the sample, we've used this part here to put on top of the snow, so that might be something if you want to follow the sample. See where the candies are on the very top here? If you want to follow the sample, what you do is want to just go ahead and set this aside as well, because that'll be something we'll put on a little bit later. So now we have our candy canes and our other candy and things to glue onto our bag. And you don't have to use all the candy if you think it's going to look a little too crowded. Or you could actually put some on the other side if you wanted to. You don't have to put everything on the front. You could put some on the back. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the front here though. Okay, got all those pieces glued on, so I'm going to set that aside. And just like the sample, I think I'm going to glue my candies on to the snow here. I didn't cut them all out individually, I just cut them out kind of in a big group, because the background is white and they're going to be put on white, so I figured it's fine. Ready for our last part now. So first off, we're going to take our tissue paper and open it up. And you're going to want to just crumple it up so that you can use it as stuffing. Just a little bit. Make sure this is all stuck on there. I used a glue stick, so it should dry fairly quickly. If you're using liquid glue, I would recommend that you just wait to do this next part. Wait until it's dry. Liquid glue can take a lot longer to dry. So carefully open up your bag. Let's go ahead and put our tissue paper inside to give our gingerbread house some volume. Okay, and we're going to fold it down so that we're covering up that number 4 part. And it might help right now, if you have a stapler, you could staple it shut, or if you have some tape, it might be helpful to do that. Probably would want to fold this part along the dotted line there to make it easier to put on as well. And we're going to want to make sure our candies are in front. And then we're going to glue that on the front. And if you like, you could take some snow from your other craft and glue some snow on there, maybe on the windowsills and on the roof here. You can glue a little bit of the snow on there as well. And that's the gingerbread house. Okay, now it's time to do our second craft, which is the Gingerbread Man Puppet. Here's the sample again. Remember that this is a puppet, so when you glue your head on, or your face, you want to make sure that you don't glue it down to the body. Make sure that this flap is able to open up, so that when you're finished with your puppet, you can actually put your hand inside and use it as a puppet. Okay. So let's see what's in our craft packet here. Pull it out. You've got your gingerbread pattern. And inside you should have a little bag that has a little bit of snow, a piece of yarn, and 2 pom-poms. So again, how you decorate your gingerbread boy is totally up to you. In the sample, we have the pom-poms are serving as our buttons. So we're going to glue those right there. Again, if you're using crayons, you probably want to plan where you're going to be gluing things and avoid putting crayon there because the wax makes it so it's hard to glue things. We also have a small piece of red paper in here that you can cut out a smile with. Okay? Again, it's totally up to you how big you want the smile to be, or you could just draw it on if you would rather do that as well. And you also have a little bit of snow that once you glue where you're going to put it on, you can just sprinkle on there. Okay? So let's start by go ahead and put our pom-poms on for our buttons. Get those in place before we put everything else down. Now this was creased because we had to fit it into the bag. So we might want to just kind of fold it the other way a little bit, just to flatten it out a little bit. There we go. Okay. Get some glue on there for our pom-poms. Make our buttons. Okay. Now I think I'll do my coloring and I'll be right back. Okay, I've finished my coloring and most of my cutting. I want to have some eyes, so I think that I'm going to take a little bit of the scrap paper here and create some eyes for myself. I'm also going to need to create a mouth. Since I've colored in so much, I think I will use the red paper. Just cut myself out a little smile. Get rid of my scrap paper here in the trash. Now we have our yarn that we're going to need to cut. You see on the sample how it's on the little feet and the arms. Just cut little small pieces. So we just want to cut about the size of each of the limbs. now it's time to make our puppet. So we're going to have the flap at the top because that's going to be our head. Okay. So remember not to glue the bottom part because we don't want that to stick down there. So we're going to glue maybe, so turn this over. You're going to leave the bottom part free of glue, okay? So if you turn it over, this bottom part, kind of just give yourself maybe, you know, 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch from the bottom, and then go ahead and just glue the rest of it so it'll stay on, okay? Then we can put our yarn on. Okay, and the last step is going to be to put on your snow. So you're going to want to either use some liquid glue or your glue stick again, and put glue only on the parts where you want the snow to stick, so be careful. Okay, and then it's just a matter of sprinkling it on. Like I said, you can use some of this on your other craft as well. Have some extra, and there you go, all finished with your gingerbread boy.